Hey guys, hope you're doing well. So I'm gonna share something with you today, and it's of course so you can learn something from it. And what I'm gonna share is supposed to show you how triggers work and how it's always about something from the past, actually, and not about the thing that's happening right now. So I was at the pub quiz the other day. For those of you who don't know, I love pub quizzes. And there was this incident, let's call it like that, when we did write the right answer and it was not accepted. And we we kind of complained about it to the lady that does the pub quiz. And I remember my friend was trying to explain to her what happened, and she just simply ignored her. She kind of just continued reading the questions on her mic and just ignored her fully. And there was nothing we could do, basically. And how it made me feel, it made me feel I don't know if angry is the right word. I guess there was some anger, but mostly it was that feeling of of there's nothing I can do about this and it's not fair. And it's an ugly feeling. And I had that feeling for, the whole time I was at the quiz. I couldn't concentrate on the questions. It made me uncomfortable, I guess. And yeah, sort of angry because it was unfair. And, she simply ignored my friend and she just ignored us and didn't do anything. And then later, the next day, I already kind of let it go. I was no longer angry and stuff. And it just came to me the event that I don't necessarily remember, or I mean, I know it happened, but I don't think about it. And it was when I was in an elementary school. So I was a child. I was, I don't know, second grade, something like that. And there was this test, and the teacher was really mad because my handwriting was, ugly. Let's face it. I do have an ugly handwriting still. Some of you have probably noticed when I write the petitions, I don't have a pretty handwriting. I'm not good at it. Um, Anyways, I had a really bad handwriting. Sorry, ugly, not bad, ugly, and so the teacher had trouble reading what I was writing, and she gave me instead of an A, she gave me no, sorry, instead of a B, she gave me a C because of my handwriting. She just kind of to punish me, she did that. And she told me that, and she was really mean. But when I was counting the points on the test, it turned out that I actually got an A, not a B. So she actually downgraded me for 2 grades. And I went and I complained and I said, hey, hi. So you kind of didn't didn't count the points properly, and I actually got an A, so I should now get a B. And she simply ignored me. She yelled at me and said, "You have no right to come and ask anything." And she just ignored the fact that she made a mistake and that she actually downgraded me for 2 grades. And I guess this was the event at the pub quiz that triggered this event from the past and kind of reminded me of it. And what you're trying to do when you get triggered, and there is this event that happened in the past that's being triggered, is you're trying to fix that past event because you want to make yourself feel better, basically. So what I was trying to do was get justice, so that little kid inside of me could get justice for that grades that were like taken away from it, if that makes sense. So basically, that is what you're doing when you're triggered and when you are trying to get something. So when we are trying to be with people that basically reject us or don't want us and things like that, we are reliving something from the past when we felt rejected. So it's usually about the parents, honestly. So if our father left us, or they don't need to leave us, something, they were not warm, there was some sort of an issue. It can be anything. So anything. What we're trying to do when we chase people and when we try to prove our worth to people, is that we are actually trying to fix that event from the past. So we are really trying to fix an event for that little kid inside of us. Um, so that is what's actually happening internally, and I hope this is all making sense. What you can do when you're triggered is actually trying to find why, because it's always about something from the past, childhood to be precise, and it's often things that we think are unimportant and we kind of forgot about them a long ago. It's not something that we usually necessarily think about, although it can be. It's different for everybody. And you kind of understand what you're trying to do and why you got so triggered. Because usually, the event that's happening at the moment will not be the one triggering you. And often we overreact to things because of this. And we often react in an inappropriate way because of this. So it's kind of important to understand that what we're trying to do is just bring justice for that little kid inside of us that was hurt at one point. So, this is why it's so important to work on your inner child and not ignore your inner child, because your inner child is the part of you that's still there, that's always going to be there, even though you're a grown up now. And that inner child is always going to have wounds, and those wounds will never heal. And what you can do is work on the way you react to things, and just work on the way how you handle things, and that's going to help so much. But the wounds are not going to be healed, they're always going to stay, and that's something you just have to accept because it is what it is. We all have those core wounds from when we were kids, and there is not one person who doesn't have them. There are a lot of people who are unconscious of them and unconscious of why they react the way they react, and they often think they're crazy or something's wrong with them, but it's actually only reacting to the past. So, I hope this was helpful, and I hope it explained maybe some things about yourself. I love you guys. Have a great day. Bye.